Believe it or not, the Exorcist franchise at Blumhouse Studios is not dead. According to new reports, The Exorcist is not dead after David Gordon Green finished his Halloween trilogy for Blumhouse. He moved on to The Exorcist, and that movie was received, well, not so well. But have no fear, because there is a new creative vision behind the franchise now with Dr. Sleep and the fall of the House of Usher alum Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan is a force to be reckoned with in the horror community. I mean, we're talking one of probably my favorite horror filmmakers working today, if not my favorite horror filmmaker. David Gordon Green's Exorcist Believer opened in theaters to a roughly $27 million opening, which isn't really all that much, and it only grossed $127 globally. And so a lot of questions were in the air about whether or not this franchise is needed at this moment, or if people want it. It had negative critical reception, mixed audience reactions, and ultimately it kind of was reminiscent of how people felt about David Gordon Green's take on the Halloween trilogy at Blumhouse. And so I think a lot of people are going to be really excited when they learn that Mike Flanagan is set to write, direct, and produce a radical new take on the Exorcist franchise for Blumhouse. And they're going to try and go in a different direction, which I respect, because I think you have to pivot in times of crisis. You have to pivot when a product that you have isn't quite working, and that's exactly what is going on at Blumhouse, with Mike Flanagan stepping in to take over the creative reins on this franchise. Flanagan says, quote, "The Exorcist is one of the reasons I became a filmmaker, and it is an honor to have the chance to try something fresh, bold, and terrifying within this universe. Reuniting with my friends at Blumhouse, with whom I've made some of my favorite pieces of work, only make this more exciting." And it should be noted that this new take on the Exorcist franchise is not a direct sequel to Believer at all. This is something entirely new, something entirely fresh, kind of shedding off that dead weight. Believer left a lot of sour taste in people's mouths, especially fans of the franchise, people who wanted to see something new and fresh and creative. Ultimately, we got a little bit of that, right, with David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. I certainly had a good time with the amount of risks that were taken in the Halloween franchise, but at the end of the day, I know a lot of people didn't like it. And with Believer, I feel like it's a similar situation, only The Exorcist has more to lose because there isn't a mass draw. If we can take anything into account from the box office numbers, it's that the film just didn't spark any interest, unlike the Halloween franchise from Blumhouse, and that's unfortunate. But Mike Flanagan, one of my favorite filmmakers working today, I just had Wren rewatch Dr. Sleep not that long ago. Boy, oh boy, do I love everything that he does, for the most part. I mean, he has definitely some influential pieces of work in my life. I mean, particularly his Netflix projects are just on another level, but I mean, the man's discography is pretty expansive and impressive too. He's able to bring fresh, bold, new ideas to the forefront, and at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of Flanagan's work is very consistent in terms of there's an inherent humanity in his work that shines so clearly through the script and through the performances. And so for his take on this franchise, I couldn't be more excited for it. But let me know what you think of this news down in the comments below. Are you a Mike Flanagan fan? Are you excited to see a radical new vision for the Exorcist franchise? Or do you just want them to leave it alone? Let me know down in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a news update when we have news to share. And we will see you in the next video, everyone. Bye-bye.